Avengers Endgame is the 22nd film of the MCU and the sequel to Avengers Infinity War. It was produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures. It was directed by the Russo Brothers. Now, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for a very long time. A movie that has been in the making for over 10 years. Everything is coming to this conclusion. And definitely, I am very excited to report, my findings of this film. So in the next couple of minutes, I want to share this movie. Of course, we're gonna avoid all type of spoilers if you haven't watched the film, but I want to give you the best of this film, the good and the bad. Is this a good film or not so much? Better than the previous one, or just a letdown? In the next couple of minutes, we are going to find out. The good. The cast in this film is the best part of this film. I love this cast. How can you not love them? We have watched them portray these characters, for years, for over 10 years. We love them. They're part of our family. They're part of our daily lives. We watch these films. We play the video games. We watch the cartoons. We love the heroes, and we love this. In this case, the counterparts right now, of course, the MCU actors, because they have embodied these characters in a way that they are relatable. And this film brings the best of them, each one of them. You don't feel that one is overpowered over the other. Each character brings their own emotions, their own persona, their own character, their own funny traits. Everything that is about them is injected into this film. The Russo Brothers did a fantastic job in putting this cast together and make this cast work. You can see them more personal. We have seen them for so long that we know them very well. And here you can see at their weakest point too, but also at their best, at the strongest points. So definitely that's the best part of this film. The story itself is amazing. This is a great story. Of course, this is based on the Infinity Gauntlet. And of course, there's some deviation to the story because, of course, it's just an adaptation of it with its own flair. But it's just an amazing story. It's very compelling. There's a lot of great messages here. Now, the movie takes its time. That's the reason why you see it's over 3 hours long. But it's because the movie takes its time. It is actually composed for 3 different acts. You have a first act, the mid-act, and of course the third act. And the first act is a bit slow, but it's just building up the emotional aspect of the film. It needs that time. It needs to be a bit slow because you are feeling this hero's pains and all the struggles after losing in Infinity War. The mid-act, it becomes, of course, the center of it, and you can see more stuff. In this case, the movie gaining speed, and of course, everything comes to a finale, an awesome finale on the third act, and everything makes sense. All the deviations, everything that has been added in this film, definitely all makes sense. What I love about the film is that it brings a lot of closure to a lot of the different characters. There is some painful moments, but a lot of closure in each part, each element. A lot of these movies, there's a throwback to so many previous movies. It ties so many loose ends for those movies. It's like it comes full circle, and I love that. Definitely, they did a phenomenal job in creating this story and making it interesting because there's a lot of deviations on the way too. They are really you don't see coming, but they're pretty much excellent in their execution. The cinematography in this film is phenomenal. It's amazing. The colors, the textures, the CGI at some point, everything. Particularly the last battle, which is a huge battle. It's just an amazing experience. It's just lethargic. You just sit there and just watch it in awe, because it's just amazing what is in there. They did a phenomenal job, as they have always done in the past, but here, of course, it's magnified, it's multiplied, and it really feels like a superhero movie. It feels like you are reading, you're watching technically the comic books coming to life, and it feels that way. The music score, it really plays with your emotions. It's really an expansion of what happened with Infinity War. It feels that way. It's on point throughout the whole movie. It really plays well. It doesn't take over, but it's just there, and it's just a reminder of the epicness of the film. And of course, the Easter eggs. There's so many Easter eggs that you see throughout the movie. for comic book fans. This is the thing. This movie, first and foremost, is a superhero story, and of course, is directed towards superhero fans, those that have grown with the source material, those that know the comic, not necessarily just the Infinity Gauntlet, but those who know the comic books throughout the generations. You will see so many references, visual and story-wise, that it's just an amazing experience. You are going to love it. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. I wouldn't say this movie has bad stuff, because when you come to think of it, they are just nitpicks. Because the good outweighs the bad. Yeah, there are a couple of things. I would say perhaps the time, it's 3 hours long, and some people might think it's too long as a movie. But like I said before, it needs that time to grow, to develop, to set the stage, emotional stage that is going to take you to the third act. So it was a necessary thing. And it doesn't feel, the movie never feels like it's too long. It feels, right, the experience. I was, from beginning to end, I didn't even go to the bathroom. I'm just there watching the film, because every moment is important and every moment has weight. And of course, for some it might be too long, but it was necessary. So like I said, it might be slow for some, the slow start, Infinity War was more the same pace, but although it also have timing problems, I don't think this movie has timing problems. I feel that it's just growing, eventually is going up until it comes to the great finale, a great crescendo. And I really love that part of the film. So definitely it's more like a nitpick for some rather than a flaw of the film. There's some comedy in the film, of course. Some people might dislike the comedy, but it's just a throwback to everything that the Marvel has done. This, movie plays with those emotions, with the past things, and that it brings them to this film, and it reminds you what it is. It is definitely, it doesn't try to be anything else. It is a superhero story, and it plays as an MCU film, and it's just that, and definitely it's a great part. Some people might dislike some of the humor, but I find it hilarious, and I loved it. And some people might dislike the extra CGI. There are a couple of moments with the CGI you might notice it, but you're so invested into the story that it doesn't really bother. So it's more like a nitpick rather than a flaw. It is just like when I remember watching the original Star Wars, I can go back and watch that, and I can see some of the CGI that might come as imperfect, not as good after so many years, but you still love that film because what it represented, because the story itself was really powerful, really engaging. The same happens here. In conclusion, wow, what can I say? This movie was phenomenal. I was just literally on my seat from the beginning until the end. I was just soaking into the experience. It was a great film that has so much to give, and it brings the entirety of the MCU together. From the first movie to the second phase to the third phase, all the movies are coming together, and now things make sense. Things that didn't make sense before, now they totally make sense. And also brings so much closure to each character. You see these characters mature, and of course there are painful moments, and you're going to experience some painful moments because some heroes are not going to make it out of this film. But it doesn't feel as, like your heart is heavy because of it. You understand it's poetic in itself, the demise of some of the heroes here. But definitely you can see some heroes excelling more than before. And you can see how they deal with some of the issues they had in the past, and how everything comes, and it makes sense. Everything brings closure to the personal lives of each one of these heroes that we have seen for many years. And that's what I love. And I think the center message of the MCU had always been these four basic things. One of them, of course, is courage, is valor. It is also sacrifice. It is hope and family. And all of these four elements that make the MCU and the story in the MCU, they all are well represented here. You can see people that they give their best. They know, that they're the only ones that can take them, pretty much the battle to Thanos, and they're going to do it. They know the cost of sacrifice, that they're going to do whatever it takes, even if that means giving their lives in order to do the right thing. And of course, you see hope. They are the last hope of humanity, and they want not only humanity, the entire universe. And finally, of course, family. And that's something that I really love about this film. Besides some thematic elements and some language here and there, most of the film is about family, and it centers around that. These are people and their personal families. They are all different families coming together and form one singular family. Not only the Avengers or the whoever else is coming together, they all come together as a family, and at the end they all conquer the battle. And that's something that I really love about this film. I loved it. So if I have to give this film a final score, I would say a 10 out of 10. Now, this is the first 10 out of 10 I give to the MCU. Some of the movies have been 9.5, but this movie is perfection. Even with all their flaws, it is perfection. Because this movie is all about fan service. And some people might say fan service is overrated, it shouldn't be part of the movies. But this is what people want to watch, and this is what they get. People come with their families to watch these films, and you pay into your ticket because you want to watch this experience, and it brings everything to a great finale. You can make this movie the last movie of the MCU for eternity, and it will be a perfect ending to the MCU. Of course, you're gonna see the MCU expand and grow. We know that, but it's just a perfect finale for pretty much the series, for the first saga, and I really love it, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. You need to watch it. You need to watch it at the theater. It's a great experience, and don't wait for the last minute. Just watch it. It's definitely a good investment of time and of course of money. Take your family, take your kids. They're going to love it. I love it, and definitely I highly recommend it. Now, if you already watch it, what do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you find it disappointing? Do you like it more than Infinity War, or do you prefer Infinity War? What is your opinion? I would like to hear it. Please share your comments below. I would like to have that conversation with you. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Follow me on social media. You can follow me on my Facebook page, on my Instagram, and also on Twitter. And please consider supporting me financially. Your financial support keeps me in the air, helps me to keep bringing content, videos, video reviews, my podcast to you on a daily basis. So once again, God bless you. Take care, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.